Yukiro here. Today I'm going to do a little reaction video. I don't usually do these, but I think I want to do a couple, mostly connected to Wales, where I am from, just because I find them really fun and interesting to watch. I wanted to kind of share with you like all the different accents and slang words and stuff like that we use here in the UK. Granted that no matter where you go, you're going to find lots of differences, even within the same sort of like place. So like Wales, you're going to have people from the north who are going to use different phrases and expressions completely different to say someone from the south, and the same with Ireland and Scotland as well, and even England. And obviously we all have our own different accents. Other than the English, we also have our own language, and sometimes that does play a part in some of the phrases and stuff that we say. Not always. It just depends who you're speaking to, where they're from, you know, how they communicate. I sometimes sprinkle the odd Welsh word into my into what I say, but it depends. You'll probably see what I mean when I play the video a bit more and do some little commentary on some of the Welsh stuff that the Welsh guy in the middle here says, the one in red. He, I think, from what little I saw of the video, because I haven't watched it all, he's from the North Wales, whereas I'm from South. So there are going to be some differences between me and him. That having been said, this video was by World Friends. I've never really watched their videos before, but this one kind of sparked my interest because it was kind of like a reaction from an American to sort of like all different accents, words, phrases, and it seemed interesting. So I thought I'd have a little watch and, you know, go from there.
If we were to ask you in our languages, if I asked you gael mynd I ti bach sgwch, do you understand what I'm saying?
To be fair to this poor woman, even I don't understand what he just said. Even within Welsh, the best way I can explain it is the same way one of my work colleagues explained it to me. North Wales and South Wales have different dialects. Apparently, South Wales is a little bit more posh. I personally don't see it, but apparently that's so. Whereas North Wales uses a lot more slang. So although some phrases might be similar, there might be different words that mean similar things that they might use rather than what we use. It's fun, but at the same time, it makes it difficult for two people speaking Welsh to always communicate with each other unless they're from the same sort of area. It's quite funny. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I totally would. No, of course I would not. Definitely, there's some different accents going on here.
She has a very, very softly spoken voice. It's very nice. It's a little bit slow, and I don't mean slow as in stupid, just very slow and calm. It's a very nice voice. I like it.
And pronunciation. So I'm really curious to see how we will do these expressions today.
Characteristics of Irish pronunciation. I think we have a very specific sort of rhythm to how we speak, which is what really kind of stands out in the Irish accent, I think. But even like, you know, same with all of the UK and in Ireland too, there's different accents in different regions as well. So.
Yeah. So I've obviously said this before in, you know, in many videos I've covered from accents in the UK. There are very, very many different accents and slangs and phrases that we use in every part of the UK. A lot of people who've never been to the UK or just don't really look into things might think there's like just one or two accents, maybe just like, and everyone speaks English or whatever, apart from like people who've migrated here. But the UK is a lot more depth, you know, a lot more interesting than that. We have a very, very diverse culture and languages, and it's just, I love my country. I know it's fun to make fun of different parts of my country, like especially English, because you know, you're not as cool as we are. But anyway, I still love my country, even though it has its faults.
So you know, you can't really just say this is one Irish accent because there are so many Irish accents.
It's
Yeah,
certainly
same
the
with
same in Wales. The most famous accent in Wales is a South Walian accent. So when people meet
Yep.
me, they expect me to say, "Oh, I'm from Wales."
Yeah.
Going to the shop. Yeah, yeah. So I'm from South Wales. Obviously, I don't have a strong accent myself, but I know many, many, many do, and they sound just like this. It's really funny. I love it.
I was going to the shops, but I'm from North Wales, so my accent's a little bit softer.
Mhm.
It's like South Walian meets Northern England together.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have so many different accents in Wales as well.
To me, Welsh is kind of sing-songy as
It's
well.
very
Yeah.
It's interesting that she says this because Wales has historically been a place of like poetry and song, and that is kind of sort of projected in our way of speaking as well.
Sorry, it's because all we ever do is sing.
You are an amazing singer.
I know.
Like,
Today is quite a challenge just to speak. Normally we communicate in song.
True. True. We communicate in songs. Like Friday just gone, depending on when I post this video. I didn't even sing, but I quoted a song because I was just being a dog, basically. So we were in Firestorm. For those who don't know, Firestorm is sort of like, I'm going to say it's a shop, but at the same time, a lot of people go there to like do D&D, Magic the Gathering, paint Warhammer models, stuff like that. We mostly go there, me and my friends, to shop for, well, recently Warhammer, because they've gotten into that recently. But anyway, so we were looking at all the different D&D and Warhammer stuff. So one of my friends started playing with these keychain dice things, and they kind of flashed and glowed and stuff. One of my other friends made fun of him. So the first friend was like, "Oh, I don't know why I keep touching like all random stuff," and I was like, "Because you're a nerd. Nerds just love gadgets and gizmos aplenty." That's all I said, and that kind of resulted in my third friend of mine singing "Part of Your World" all the way back to her, because we just kind of roll like that.
oh yeah.
In Scotland, I think a lot of the accents people hear are like Shrek or Braveheart type accents, which are in a way kind of more fantasy than regular, but it's nice to be represented.
I mean, actually, now that you mention it, I didn't.
Honestly, some of the Scottish accents, some of my favourite accents in the UK. Biases aside, I love the Scottish accents. I love it. I also love the Irish accents as well.
Realize Shrek was supposed to have a Scottish accent.
Yeah, or Mrs.
But if
Doubtfire,
I
no?
think about it, I'm like, okay,
Oh, hello, darling.
he was supposed to have something, like it wasn't an American accent.
Uh-huh.
If I had to answer, I wouldn't say, oh, that's Scottish accent.
I mean, I think it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a mixture of also the words they use. Because if I don't know what word they're using and they have an accent, then I really won't know what's going on.
That is fair. Even I struggle sometimes if someone's just like throws a random word in, I'm like, wait, what? Where I'm from, there's a lot of people from different cultures, though, not just from the UK. There's also a lot of like other cultures here. It's really kind of melting pot. Sometimes someone will come up to me, ask me something, especially in like retail work, and I'll be like, "I'm sorry, what?" Either their accent's really strong and my hearing isn't the greatest, so I'm just like, "Sorry, what?" Or they've said something in their language, not realizing or not having an English word for it, and I have to then try and work together with this person to try and figure out what they're actually after. And it's just really interesting how different the world is.
Like if I said to you, all right, Henry, you're going in the morning.
Yeah,
Would you?
Yeah, I've got no idea what you said. You're right, love.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't really say that, but just an example. It'd be like, hi, girlie, where are you going tomorrow? Yeah.
In America, I would say, what's up?
In England, where I'm from, I would say, hi, you all right?
Wales, we use Welsh for this. We just say, oh, ti'n iawn, which is like, you okay? Yeah.
We, from where I'm from, we usually just say all right, but I don't tend to say that much. But many of the people I talk to use that phrase. Right, but where you going, but? We also use all right. How you doing? Everything okay? Sometimes if we're speaking to someone else that we know is from Wales, we might sort of greet each other in Welsh like this guy did. I don't personally because, again, where I'm from, it's such a melting pot that, it's easier just to speak in English half the time.
Yeah. What's up? You all right?
In Scotland, we might say, how are you? Or all right, if you know them. Yeah.
Yeah. Also in Ireland, there's like you could say in a few different ways. I think the the stereotypical one is what's the crack? What's the story? How's it going?
Yeah, what's cracking?
Obviously not the Welsh one because I don't know that at all, and I think maybe Scottish would be a bit hard if you didn't just say how are you.
What about what's the crack? Have you ever heard that?
I mean, we say what's cracking sometimes.
So you could kind of put it together.
Yeah. So I could kind of guess what that means. Like, what's cracking? That's kind of like an old way to say it.
Because we say what's the story, but sometimes people just say story.
Yeah.
So you walk down the street, you're like story.
Confusing.
That's a bit different.
In
Not
America,
that
we
before.
would say that's great.
In England, I think we can say a lot of different things for this, but if I'm going to be specific to my region, I feel like we say that's dead good. Like that's really good, maybe?
I've heard that phrase when I was in England. So I have my own little phrases. I usually say that's awesome. It's amazing. I think, who out there, sometimes I'll say something a little bit more like awesome sauce or amazeballs. It depends who I'm talking to though. If it's around my friends, I'll use a bit more of the latter terms. Whereas if I'm speaking to someone I don't know, I'll probably be a lot more polite about it.
Depending on the context, you could say that's bro because it's like good, or sometimes you say bro for handsome, or just say that's pure dead brilliant as well.
Oh, why do we use dead? Like it doesn't.
Yeah, in Ireland, like we'd say, personally, I would say like that's unreal. You said like you say that's grand, but in Ireland, when we say that's grand, it means fine. Like
Yeah, I have a regular customer. Well, she used to be a regular customer. I don't work the days she comes in anymore. But I'm fairly sure she's Irish, although she gets offended when I call her Irish. But she also gets offended when I call her Scottish. But she is one of those because she said she was one of the. It's a confusing customer. Besides the point, she says that's grand a lot as well, and I love her accent, although she is a bit of a confusing customer. I personally don't mind her at the moment, but when I first started there a long, long time ago, she used to be. How best to say this without being too offensive? She wasn't quite a Karen, but she was definitely a Karen, if that makes any sense. She can still be a bit. She has to have her way, but she has calmed down a lot. So I actually like her a lot more now than I used to. Tangent, but anyway.
not good, not bad, just
Okay.
it's like so.
That could get confusing.
Like if someone said how are you and I said I'm grand, it just means like it's like I'm doing
That's who it means like really good. You wouldn't just say I'm grand if you're doing fine.
yeah, we're just fine. We're not that excited to be.
Okay.
Can you understand what everyone is saying?
So, unless the grand thing, that's like if it's just normal, that's not great. That's
That's not so great. I'm just grand.
in America, I would say that's nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Nasty. In England, we might say that's vile or that's gross.
Yeah, I feel like in Wales, I would.
He doesn't actually go into some of the other phrases that we use. I don't know, maybe they don't use this expression up north. We have also use that's filthy, that's disgusting. disgusting, that's vile, that's gross. We pretty much use all of those, but the biggest one that we use, if we want to say that's disgusting or don't put in that in your mouth, it's gross. We say achavi. Don't pick your nose. That's achavi. If any of you have watched my other videos, I think I might have mentioned that one before. But yeah, it's a very common phrase down where I'm from.
In Scotland, we might say minging.
Yeah, we use me. But
Disgusting.
I have to say disgusting.
Disgusting.
In Ireland, we would say like just like that's disgusting. We do say that's manky too. I feel like it's got more of
I have not heard manky in a long time. That is such an old phrase. I'm very familiar with it, yeah.
a childish kind of word. Like children say manky. I don't say manky myself.
Yeah.
Like if this is a regional thing, but when something is like kind of gross or nasty, sometimes we say it's janky.
Yeah, I've heard that. I thought it meant something's like cheap and broken. Yeah.
It doesn't work.
To like if it doesn't really work well or it's like iffy, like not good, janky.
Meaning cats and dogs outside. That's a very, very common phrase here.
In America, we would say it's raining cats and dogs outside.
In England, maybe in
Although
the
we have other-
northwest, you say like it's chucking it down, or
I've heard that. Yeah, no, that is a phrase that we use commonly down here. It's pissing down outside.
I feel like in Wales it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's absolutely, or it's leathering.
oh,
Leather.
Never.
Because it's raining really hard. And we'd say raining cats and dogs, it's lashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Scotland, I might say it's bucketing rain out there.
say it again.
With that
Bucketing
phrase,
rain out there.
we don't usually use it.
Buckets of rain.
In Ireland, yeah, we'd say it's lashing, it's pissing, it's bucketing.
Right.
My mom would always say like it's bucketing from the heavens. Like
Oh,
I don't think I've heard of any of these before.
I've never heard of it.
We only say like it's pouring or I mean raining cats and dogs. Some people say that. I feel like it's more written in books or
Yeah.
something.
It's quite poetic.
Yeah. But like if it's just raining really heavy, we say like it's pouring outside.
In America it's raining really light.
We call it a drizzle.
say spitting, yeah.
Easily.
Spitting. Yeah, we use it's spitting a lot here. Drizzling sometimes, but usually we stick to it's spitting outside.
In America, we say stand in line.
In
Oh, don't get us started on the line. Oh, don't get us started on the line. No. Okay, anyway.
England, I think we say like get in the queue. Get in the queue.
Wales, get in the queue.
Scotland's the same. Get in the queue. Back of the queue.
in Ireland, we say back of the queue, get in the queue.
Wow, I think
Yeah. So for those of you who aren't familiar, here it's very, very rude to cut in line. Sometimes if there's like two lines and there's like, I mostly see this at the cinema or in small shops where you've only got like one or two cashiers and you got the two lines, one for each till, but customers can go to whichever till that's open left. And sometimes you'll have the person next in line and they're both kind of like arguing because like neither wants to be rude and cut in first. So anyone that is trying to jump the queue or cut in line, yeah, we kind of don't allow that here. We might not say anything if you do, because we're too polite to say anything, unless we're feeling like really, really grumpy that day or hangry. But usually we'll just mutter under our breath. How rude.
this one's kind of different because if you said that, someone might not know to stand in a physical line because we use queue, but usually for like online stuff.
Okay.
Oh, like you're in the queue.
Yeah.
Tickets for Beyonce.
Yeah, like if you make a phone call, etc. But if you say like get in the queue in real life, I don't know, it might be confusing. In America, we say where's the bathroom or the restroom, etc.
Very
In
polite.
England, we could say where's the loo? Where's
Yeah, I go, going to the loo.
the toilet? Where's the Where's the water closet is a very old word, but you'll see WC as like the symbol for like toilet. But I think loo toilet. Do people actually say loo? I say loo.
Okay.
I think it's an English thing.
Yeah.
To me.
In coronations.
Okay, then we'll say loo.
But in Wales, actually, we don't very often say toilet. We use the Welsh. And there's two words. There's toileti
Toilety.
and tea bag.
Okay, so I haven't noticed this down south. Hebach is definitely more familiar to me than the other one. But from where I'm from, we just say toilet, loo, bathroom, little girl's room, little boy's room. Although there's also the disabled toilets, and some places have mixed bathrooms. But another phrase I hear sometimes is the bog. I don't know whether that's just a South Wales thing. No idea. Yeah, going to the bog is another one.
And tea bag literally means little house. Tea is house and bag is small. So if I was to naturally ask this in what we call Wenglish, I'd say, where's the tea bag?
Oh.
South Wales maybe, where's the toilet?
We would generally say, where's the toilet? Personally, I would say the bathroom because I don't want people knowing exactly why I'm going there.
In Ireland, we say, where's the toilet? And if you want to have like more colloquial term, where's the jacks?
Jack.
Say that? I don't know. It's just called the jacks. Yeah.
Would you understand what I'm saying?
Another phrase, I don't hear it as much, so it is a little bit of an old term. But some people, I'm not sure if it's just a South Wales thing, it could be other areas of the UK as well. But the John, if someone says, oh, I need to use the John, they're also talking about toilet.
Oh yeah. I totally would.
She's fluent as well. What is this?
No, of course I would not.
What about which is more difficult?
I think the Irish one is so long.
Too long.
I would not know at all. Not even if you said jacks or anything like that, I wouldn't know.
So you know, I said we use WC sometimes for the toilet.
Yeah.
Do you use that in the US?
Very rarely. I have seen it before, but it's not that common. Usually it just says restroom, toilet, or like it will have the symbol of the man and the woman. I think it's funny because some of our expressions are really similar, but some are totally different and like so confusing because you say it.
It's completely valid. I've not been to Ireland yet. I'd love to go there. But I have been to Glasgow in Scotland, and there were times where even I didn't quite understand. And that was us visiting our friends who originally lived down where we live, but then they moved back up to Glasgow to be with their family. I can't remember why. It was years ago. But yeah, no, what she says is valid. You know, it is hard even for those of us in the UK to always understand each other.
I'm still thinking about going to the bathroom in Irish. Like, if I had to say that at school, I think I would be in trouble.
But you learn it very quickly when you need to go.
If I really had to go, I could probably learn it.
What?
I didn't know about like the toilet thing though. That's really funny
It's just
that
like
they
a
make.
slow thing, yeah.
Yeah, but it's good because then it makes you like really remember.
It's kind of become like a meme in Ireland itself now that that's the only sentence we can all say. We can't speak the language, but we can at least ask to go to the bathroom.
It was
That is also valid. Obviously Wales have been trying to bring back Welsh language. But yeah, no, that's valid. I hope the Irish can regain some of their like language as well. I'm not too familiar with how much they speak their language now, but yeah, that's a whole history thing. I'm not going to go into it, but that's so valid.
nice to hear the other colloquialisms that the other nations have. I know that people would probably think my accent's more unusual as well, but from my point of view, it's nice to hear other ones.
You know, we're also like close by geographically, but we
Yeah.
all have our own kind of quirks and ways of speaking.
I think it's super fun just to hear because I feel like you get really used to it when you're there, but if we actually sit down and compare it like this, it is more interesting.
Most of the American
Yeah, it's really more interesting.
obviously new, and the English ones, a couple of Irish and Scottish ones, which were really interesting. The bathroom, the Jacks,
The Jacks.
the Jacks. Yeah, that was really interesting. But it's also amazing because we're not far apart geographically, maybe 1 hour.
Yeah, no,
But sometimes we have completely different ways of expressing something.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool.
So today we talked about how we compare different expressions in our countries.
If you like the video, please like, subscribe, and comment.
We'll see you soon.
Okay, so that was the video. I will give them a like because it's a nice thing to do, and I will post the link to this video in the comments down below. So that was the American talk about England, Scotland, and Ireland, and obviously Wales. Feel free to check it out and give it a watch yourself. Give them a like, and also I'll see about making some more reaction content. I don't plan on doing this all the time, but because I prefer streaming and gaming. So I thought it would be nice to give it a watch and see what they said. So if you like this video, feel free to like it. And if you have any opinions, feel free to share them down below. And I'll see you all hopefully soon. Bye!